So, my name is Mr. Conrad. Do you guys know why I'm here? Who can raise their hand and tell me what I'm doing here? Yeah.
You're going to help fifth grade make music.
Make music, make music. Does that mean that you guys are going to play music or create music? Yeah. I'm with a group called the Playground Ensemble. And we are a modern chamber ensemble. Can anybody raise their hand and tell me what a chamber ensemble is? Yeah. Random people that have talents. That's not a chamber necessarily. I would call that a collective. I like that answer though. There are a lot of random people that have talents in my chamber ensemble, that is for sure. What is a chamber? Yeah.
Well, chambers can be sometimes like living quarters, sometimes they call chambers.
Yeah, what do you think?
Like they can be dungeons.
Like dungeons, yeah. Or, you know, I think in a more typical, generic sense, a chamber is just a room, right? And so a chamber ensemble is a small group of players that are meant to play in a smaller room. Would a symphony orchestra be considered a chamber ensemble?
No.
No, because that's a lot of people, right? That's meant to play in a big, big room. Chamber ensembles were historically meant to play in smaller rooms. And so I run a modern chamber ensemble, and what that means is that we like to play music by composers that are still alive. Who can raise their hand for me and give me the name of a composer? Yeah?
Oh, never mind. I forgot it.
It left you? Who else? Somebody. Who's got a composer?
Beethoven?
Beethoven is absolutely a composer. You got a composer for me? Wolfgang? What was Wolfgang's last name? Because we usually call him by his last name, but the fact that you know his first name, Wolfgang is an awesome name, right? What do you think? Mozart is a composer, right? Who else? We said Beethoven, we said Mozart. Do we have other composers? Do you think of any? No? Me? Yes. All right. I like where you're going, buddy.
I was going to say you.
All right, so here's the deal. The people that you named as composers, are they old or are they young?
Old.
Are they even still alive?
Yes.
No. So does that mean that to be a composer you have to be dead?
No.
No. See, here's the deal. I want you guys to know the composers live where you live and they look like you look. Because I think to some degree we see a bunch of old white guys with powdered wigs on when we think of composers, right? Yeah, that's not fair. Women should be able to compose. If you are Hispanic or African American or wherever you are from, you should be able to compose. And that's what we're going to do with you guys, is we are going to help you get all the great musical ideas that swirl around in your heads, and we're going to help you get them out. In fact, do you guys know how to write music on paper?
It's hard.
It is hard, right? And so we're going to make sure that you don't even have to completely worry about that. Now, we're going to want you to do some of it, I think. But our job is going to be to take that hard part that you don't fully understand out of the way, just so that you can be creative. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to play your music for you. We're going to play it first in a rehearsal, where you can say, hey man, you guys are doing that wrong. And then you can fix it. And then we're going to put on a concert. We're going to put on a concert for your school. Oh, we need to talk about that. And we're going to put on a concert for your families and your friends. And you guys get to be, you guys have done some concerts, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it awesome when people clap for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? You get a little bit of glory. Well, as a composer, when people play your music, it is an amazing feeling. You get to sit there and you say, you know what? I did that. And so we are going to bring that feeling to you. We are going to bring in professionals from my chamber ensemble, the Playground Ensemble, and we are going to play your music. So what we've got to do is we've got to talk about this process a little bit, right? You guys are fifth graders, so you guys are pretty smart here. I've got a quote that I want you to think about. The dizziness of too much possibility. What do you think I mean by that? The dizziness of too much possibility. What do you think I mean?
Well, maybe you can be too creative sometimes, and
Too creative sometimes. Tell me more. Tell me more.
like you you don't have enough time to exactly do everything that you wanted to.
Oh, I love where you're going with this, because yeah, a lot of times we have to get things done in time to get to the concert, right? So you're just too creative and there's just not time. I think you're telling me almost exactly what I want. What do you think? That anything is possible. But have you ever been caught in a situation where anything is possible, so much is possible that you don't even know where to start? Like if I were just to say, hey, you know what? Go compose right now. Wouldn't a bunch of you just be like, Mr. Conrad, you're cray-cray. I don't know what we're supposed to do. You need to give me better instructions, right? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to start with stories. A piece of music based on a story. Do you know what we call that kind of music? Anybody want to take a guess? Storytelling music? Storytime music? Kind of, kind of. There's a word that doesn't seem that related to it. What do you think? Did it leave you? I can see it. It's right over here. It's right. Oh, it's moving towards the front. It's called program music. You were going to say GarageBand? That's music software. GarageBand is a tool, like a hammer. It is a tool to create music. But tools are not creative. People are creative. And so it takes creative people to make the tools make music, right? So it's called program music. Program music is where we base a piece of music on a story or a piece of art or a poem or a sculpture. And so that's what we're going to have you guys do. You guys did Tall Tales, right? Yeah, who was? Somebody raise your hand and tell me who your Tall Tale was about. Did you read them all?
No.
No. Who did you read?
Mine?
Yeah.
Mine was about basketball.
Yours was about basketball. You made a Tall Tale about basketball? Does that mean that you were a tall basketball player in your Tall Tale about basketball? A character who lived in the clouds. I like it. I like it. That's where basketball players should live, right? What about you? Yours was about Star Wars. I bet there were a lot about Star Wars. So, just so you know, when we have you guys make up stories for pieces of music, which happens, that's what we do here, we're going to relate them to your Tall Tales for the most part. But some things that you are not going to be able to do. One, no stories about Pokemon. Alright, you guys are probably too old for Pokemon, huh?
Hello.
Oh, no? See, we just did this with third graders, and all the stories were about Pokemon. No stories about Star Wars. It's not Pokemon or Star Wars. Here's the deal. You need to make up your own stories, not things that already exist. Does that make sense? Now, if you wanted to use characters, like who were some of the Tall Tale characters you read about? Casper? Give me another one. Davy Crockett, Johnny Appleseed. Did you say Bob Bunyan? Paul Bunyan, right? Yeah, so if you wanted to use characters related to the Tall Tales you had to read, I think that would be fantastic. In fact, we're going to go through some of the stories you wrote, and we might pick some of those even, right? But we need stories that you guys have created. So rule number one is we don't get to use things like movies and cartoons and that kind of stuff, because I really want your creativity, not somebody else's, right? You could use some characters from your Tall Tales. The other thing is nobody gets killed, okay? We can have lots of danger and drama, but you're not allowed to kill off your characters. I've worked in some schools where some of the stories just got troublingly violent. And so we got to make sure that things stay kind of, all right. Now, does that mean all your stories have to be happy and fun and whee? No. What makes a good story? Actually, what makes a good piece of music or a good piece of art? What do you think? Let's go back here and I'll come back here. Imagination, absolutely. But what if, okay, let me, I'll take two more. Yeah.
Something that's like maybe fake.
Something that's like fake? Actually, we can call that imagination. What do you think?
Well, I was thinking what if we made somebody fall off a building into a pool and then the big thing exploded?
You know what? I'm okay with that kind of stuff because that's all good. It's just that I don't want somebody shooting somebody else, somebody stabbing somebody else, those kinds of things, right? Like almost every young composers program we do, there's going to be sharks and tornadoes. Like Sharknado is the young composer. Like we should have copyrighted that before they made that movie, right? But let's go back to like an exciting movie, an exciting TV show, an exciting piece of art. What's something that those have? And this might be a little abstract for 5th grade, but what do you think? I'm coming back.
Something that they have they're like using their imagination.
Yeah, that's what she said too, as imagination. But how about this? I'll rephrase the question. How do they keep your attention? What do you think? Adventure, right? So here is, I'm not smart enough for, there we go. Oh, look what I did. So we need stories that have lots of drama. Now, I have a daughter in 5th grade and I have a daughter in 7th grade, and my understanding is that the elementary level, especially in 5th grade, that there's often a lot of girl drama in class, right? That's not the kind of drama we're talking about right now. That is not the kind of drama. But we need exciting things. Like, let me ask you this. Here's my story. Today I woke up and I was in a very good mood and I ate some cereal and I walked around my block and I took a nap and then I ate lunch and then I went to bed. Is that a good story to write a piece of music to? That's so boring. There's nothing that great there, right? But what if it was, I woke up this morning and I got a good breakfast and on the way to school I was chased by ninjas. Right? And so I battled the ninjas, and right when I was done battling the ninjas, a giant frog came and picked me up and put me on his back. And we hopped all the way to downtown. Right? Those kind of things make good stories, right? Let's bring it back down. One of the things that you guys are going to realize with me is I like to get you all wound up and excited and noisy, and then I have to ask you to be quiet again. But you guys are doing really good so far.
They're used to that.
Yeah, I think it's just, that's what we should do in music, right? Is we should get all wound up and excited and make a bunch of noise, but then we got to bring it back down so we can listen to the teachers to figure out what kind of thing we're going to do next.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to ask you a question. We're going to fill this in. All good music has blank and... What?
No, you're good.
No.
I just need to be more patient is what I need to be, right? All good marker has blank and...
Now give it a minute. It'll catch up.
It's usually not this slow.
Impatient. All right.
Maybe so many people are using it right now in the school that it's just...
You think it's a collective network? All right, here we go. All good music has blank and blank. Who thinks that they could raise their hand and tell me what blank and blank mean? Yeah. Action and drama. You know, you are completely right. I have some different words I'm going to use. But here's the other thing, is what if there was just like crazy action, crazy action, crazy action, crazy action, crazy action all the time? What else do we have to have? Okay. You know what? You're getting way deep on the music side with me. Back there, next turn.
Imagination and a story.
Imagination in a story. You ever ride a roller coaster? What happens when...
Guys.
What happens when we're on our way up the hill? How are you feeling? Nervous? And then when you go over the hill and down and how are you feeling?
Sam, find a better spot one time.
You can hear my voice. Put your hand on your knee. I tricked you. All right, so after you get down to the bottom of the hill, what does the roller coaster usually do?
When you go up, it slows, but when you go down, it goes super fast.
Right, so after we go super fast and we get to the bottom, then what normally happens? For a little bit, just for a little bit. Somebody said it slows down, right? Because we need some release. Loud is only loud if we have soft. Fast is only fast if we have slow. Right? And so all good music has tension, which is what one of you said, like action and adventure. But the other part is release, right? So when you guys are coming up with stories, we need action and adventure, and then a little resolution. And then it builds up some more to more action and adventure, and then a little bit of resolution, right? And so we need shape. That's what makes music interesting to listeners. If music went like this, and then just like this all the time, listeners would kind of lose interest after a while. But things that go like this, and then smaller, and then bigger, that stuff actually keeps people paying attention more. It makes things more exciting. It makes it harder to guess what's coming next. And when we can't guess what's coming next, but we really like what we're hearing, we lean forward and we pay attention more, right? And so we need to get a little bit of tension and release into your stories. And so the very first thing that we're going to have you do is we're going to have you guys do stories. And we're going to put you into groups, probably groups of 3 and 4. And I'm going to let... Is it Mr. Goodman or Mr. Sam? Mr. Goodman. I'm going to let Mr. Goodman decide on that. I am not a fan of you picking your best friends and being in a group. That hardly ever seems productive at this age. I am a fan of you guys sharing ideas with new people and making new friends, and the way that you learn to work together. Did you know that's one of the most important parts of this program for me? Your creativity is probably the most important part. But there's other things that are really important, like organizing your ideas, putting them in order, and seeing them through, and also being able to work in a group. Those things are very important. What's up, buddy?
What if your friends would like everyone?
What if you're friends with like everyone? Then you should run for office. I think that's a good thing. You are a person, I was not capable of such behavior. So, yeah, man.
I know this happens to me sometimes, and I think it might happen to other people.
Bet it does.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it'll happen to me on this topic. It might, but on some topics it does. Sometimes people's opinion of working together with some specific person is making them do all the work and then taking quarter
right?
for it.
You are defining group dynamic right now, my man. You are defining group dynamic. And some people want to do all the work and lead, and some people want to hide and do as little as possible. And some people just want to tell others what to do. And you know what? That's the world. And so having you work in groups in this situation and navigating those kind of things actually just prepares you for real life. But yeah, man, you've identified one of the hurdles for sure. So we're going to get you guys into stories, right? And we're going to divide your stories into paragraphs, and we're going to put you into groups where you're each assigned to compose music for a paragraph. Typically, we'll want 3 ideas out of your paragraph, kind of a beginning, middle, and end kind of thing, right? I'm very big on this idea of beginning, middle, and end. So I like you to come up with 3 musical ideas. Then we are going to bring in the players that you get to write for. And so we're going to do something called instrument demo, and that's coming up in a couple weeks. Now, I'm not 100% sure at this point. I know 2 of our players. You're going to have 3 players. I know 2 of them. We've got a percussionist, and his name is Jerry Bob. Yep, and he's awesome at the percussion. See all that percussion stuff we gathered up right there? That's what you're going to write for percussion. So we're going to bring him in, and he's going to show you how to write for percussion and how to make things up for percussion and what all it can do. And then we're going to have a violinist. Anyone want to guess who our violinist is? Yeah, Mr. Goodman's going to play. Mr. Goodman's going to play the violin. And then I don't know for sure, but I'm like 85–90% sure we're going to have trombone. Right? Because we want you to have instruments from different families and different ranges. Who can tell me what I mean by different ranges? You got different, tell me.
Different families of instruments, so like wind, wood,
Right, so the violin would be the string family and the trombone would be the brass family. What about different ranges?
Different ranges are like...
It left you.
It's like how
Loud or quiet is actually a volume thing, and some of them, like percussion, can be pretty loud, and brass can be pretty loud, and violin's not as loud as those. But that's not what I'm talking about with range. What do you think?
Maybe range is like different, a variety of different instruments from all over the world.
You know what? Actually, all right, let's back this up, because you guys aren't wrong. A range just really means from one end to the other of any kind of thing we're measuring. So it could be a volume range, right? Or it could be a family of instrument range. What I'm talking about range, though, I'm talking about this versus this. So what am I talking about when I say range?
High to low.
High to low, right? And so the violin is going to be the high, and the trombone will be the low. And then we'll have percussion to do all kinds of cool sound effects, right? So we're going to start with stories. You with me?
Yeah.
Stories. And you're going to be put in groups, and you're going to be assigned paragraphs. How many ideas do I need out of each paragraph? 3 ideas, kind of a beginning, middle, end kind of thing. And do we want those ideas to be boring ideas? No, they need to be exciting, dramatic ideas that we can turn into music. Then I'm going to bring the players in, and they're going to do an instrument demo. And what's going to happen is they're going to show you what their instruments do, and then you're going to get to ask them questions, almost like you're interviewing them. And have them try things. Like maybe you could be like, you know what, in my story, we actually roll down a hill, and could you tell me what you think that sounds like on your instrument? Now, what they're going to say to you is, what does it sound like to you? And so you're going to have to go, and then they'll try to imitate it, right? If you ask them to play other people's songs, they're just going to say no. That's one of the rules that we've put in, is if you say, hey, can you play? They're just going to say no, is what they're going to say. But if you wanted to work out some of your ideas while they're here, hey, hold that thought, all right, buddy? Then we can do that. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to compose with you. And that means that we're going to put you in groups at a keyboard, and you're going to come up with melodies, right? You're going to start working on melodies, and you're going to start working on harmonies. And if we feel like you have given us great music content, we will let you go to the percussion gear and actually come up with percussion parts for your musical ideas too. Then we're going to come in and do something called midway reading. I'm just going to stop writing up here because it doesn't matter. At midway reading, we're going to play part of your ideas just so that you can hear what you've done so far. And you can say, oh, I know what's going on now. We have found that coming in and playing what you've written partway through for you makes you come up with way better ideas before the concert. So we're going to do a midway reading. We're going to come back and do another notation day. We're going to do a dress rehearsal where you get to tell us if we're doing it right. And then we're going to make you all stars and do a concert together. Does that sound cool?
Yeah.
Cool, cool. So I want to do something today. Oh, yeah, let's answer your questions, bud.
So I'm not trying to say this in the wrong way, but like, so in this,
I'm really worried about what I'm getting right now.
for like the next month or 2 or 3, I don't know, we're kind of gonna be like the bosses. Kinda.
How was that the wrong way, man? Yeah. Well, I mean, within reason, of course. Who's the ultimate boss in this room?
You and him.
What?
Yeah. This is his room. This is his room. I'm just a guest here.
He's the second boss for this.
Let's do 2 more questions. Then I have something fun I want us to do, okay? All right, I'm going to go 3 more questions. Yes, over here.
I was gonna ask, is Dave gonna come with the buckets?
Dave with the buckets.
Dean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's actually who the percussionist is. It's Dean. I call him Jerry Bob because actually a classroom of students and young composers like you guys named him Jerry Bob one
Yeah,
time.
All
Alright.
So what if we did like, so if we did like a guy falling off a skyscraper and be like, and then you just like, and then you just hear like, ow.
You know, those are decisions you guys got to make. Last question right here.
So are we each gonna get to make our own?
You're going to be in groups of 3 or 4. Now, the way your group works, you could say, I make this idea, you make this idea, you make this idea, or you could say, we're all going to work together on our ideas. There's different ways the groups can function, and we'll worry about that when we get a little further in, okay?
Yep.
We'll worry about that when we get a little further in. So, I want to do something right now. This is going to be tough right now. I want to do, if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do we have another room we can send some people?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a giant.
We have a gym.
We have a giant gym.
And so I'm gonna make 8 groups. I'm gonna make 8 groups, okay? And I'm gonna number you off. You have to remember your number, okay?
Put your number up in the air, guys.
All right. Wait, I haven't given anybody a number yet. So here we go. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to blow this, I can already tell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my goodness. you already have a number?
Put your number high.
7, 8,
You already got that much?
1. In the orange, do you have a number already? You're 2. All right, you're 1 back there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you already have a number? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. All right, everybody listen. Everybody listen.
Friends.
I want all of the ones to very quietly come right here. Quietly come right here.
I think he means silently even.
Yep, silently come right here and sit in a little circle. I want all of the 2s to silently come right here. I want all of the 3s to silently go where Mr. Goodman is. That's not silently at all.
Yeah, guys, we know what silent means. Right here, sit. Sit, Zach.
I want all of the 4s up here by the whiteboard. I want all of the 5s right back there. Mr. Mattingly. With Mr. Mattingly. 6s right here. 6s right here.
You're not being silent either.
I'm going to put 7s over here by Mr. Goodman's desk and 8s right in the center of the room. 8s right in the center of the room. And after it's just like that, okay.
Guys,
You can hear my voice, clap your hands one time. You can hear my voice, clap your hands. All right, you guys are all going to sit in a circle, and here's what you're going to do. You need to come up with a very short story that has some drama in it, that has a beginning and a middle and an end. When you have a beginning and a middle and an end, you will call either myself or Mr. Goodman or Mr. Mattingly over, and you will tell us what the 3 parts of your story are. At that point, you will be allowed to go get 3 instruments. Your voices are also an instrument, so you'll have 4. You'll be allowed to go get 3 instruments and compose music that fits your beginning, middle, end. At 5 after, we're going to go around the room, and you're going to say, here's my beginning, here's my middle, here's my end, and then you're going to play us your pieces. All right? So what's the first thing you got to do?
Talk about our story.
You got to come up with a beginning, middle, end. When you have a beginning, middle, end, what are you going to do?
You, Mr. Goodman, are you?
You're going to call us over, and after that, it's on, right? Get in little circles, go to work. All right, who's going to be my first concert group? I'm gonna go this direction. Okay. Hey, check it out, check it out.
all right, do we know how to be a good audience?
This is good audience time. It's not your turn. All right, because of time, I'm not going to have you tell us what your story is. You're just going to play the pieces. Are you ready? All right. Let's have this group over here be our second group. We gotta be quiet, we gotta be quiet. Let's hear it, let's hear it.
That's
All right.
Hey, thanks for being brave. You
Yeah.
know your friends chickened out on you. This group is next. This group right here. This group right here.
Good job. Now silence.
Alright, you guys ready? Here you go. We got the duck. Nice.
Good job, Ben.
I want a refund. I didn't sign up for this.
All right, guys. Nice. Stop talking.
Here we go. Over here, over here. Over here. This group venue, okay? Are we ready? You ready? Let's do it. I think something happened to a little kitty in that story. Very nice. You know, I'm noticing we're not getting a lot of voices, but I think this group is going to fix it for us. We'll go with your group and then yours, all right? And you guys next, okay? Here we go. Oh. Do it. That's probably exactly what I sound like to my daughters. Nice. Who's over here? Oh, so we need to let him go?
No.
Right. We got one group left. You guys ready?
Sure.
There we go. All right. Hey, we need to clean this room up, right?
No.
We need to clean your room. No? All right. Hey, thanks for having me. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. You were great.
Say thank you. Can we thank Mr. Conrad?